This episode is sponsored by Caddyshack Bistro, your favorite new watering hole. Located next to Crust Pizza Company on Spring Cypress and Champions Forest Drive in Spring, Texas. A place where dreams come true. The finest spirits, wine, and tasty food. It's where the locals go. Use code BeerNerd20 to get 20% off your next order.
I want to know what you're thinking.
I know we tend to run long.
You can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Front Row Negative, the podcast. We're back again because we've got nothing better to do. But we like to talk to. I am your host, Aaron. I'm joined by...
You are joined by one saltine cracker of an individual, man.
Well, you just described yourself, saltine cracker, right there. And that is the perfect description that encapsulates what's happened.
Man.
What's happened.
Awful.
And before we get into why you're salty, we are joined by a returning guest. Robert Medlin is coming back again. He's going to talk with us
you
tonight.
like me so much, it brought me back.
Pretty much. We're trying to bring everybody
we had
back.
him twice.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
The sequel's always better, so.
For the most part, it is. The sequel is usually always better.
Spider-Man 2 was better.
Except if you're in a Halloween franchise, then you never know what you're doing because everything is confusing. But he's back.
True story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I would ask how you're doing, Chris, but you've already kind of started your path of anger.
I'm on a rampage, if you will. Look, dude.
You're on a path of anger, but the thing is that it didn't happen to you. It happened to somebody else, but it affects you. But it does affect you.
It directly affects me because I live in a city that is overrun with collectors. Okay? Mm-hmm. And truth be told, there are a lot of collectors in Houston, but there are also a lot of vultures.
Yes,
okay?
Vultures.
Yes.
And so, when you have a friend of the show that hits you up and says, "Hey, man, I found these really hard to find Miles Morales Marvel Legends," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well I know somebody who needs one for Christmas. Grab them." And so, great, that's going to happen. And then suddenly, apparently out in the sticks, if you leave your cart unattended for 20 seconds, you might as well act like you didn't have a cart at all. And somebody just takes your shit directly out of your cart. Listen, it's coward. It's bitch shit. You know what I mean? It's a coward move. It is. It's fuckboy action. And I'm sorry. It's for a kid.
Yeah.
Right? So you can assume all you want if you're the fuckboy taking stuff out of people's basket. But listen to me. Because you're the same shitbag who takes toys and switches them out in the box. So if you're listening to my podcast, secondly, fuck off, don't listen anymore. Thirdly, hope your mother dies of gonorrhea.
Wow.
I'm sorry, dude. Like I'm over it. I am over it.
So for the listeners who don't know what a vulture is, the terminology is basically if you're going shopping and you get something off the shelf and it's probably the last one. What a vulture is somebody who follows you, who shadows you throughout the store, waiting for either A, for you to change your mind and put the item down, or B, your cart, hand basket, or whatever is unattended. Yep. They swoop in and they grab it out of said basket or hand cart and take it from you and go get it themselves. Now,
mind-blowing. I
had this a few months back. I mean, I kind of touched into it a little bit whenever I got Chris his $150 NECA Turtles box set. I had a vulture following me around, wanting to get said box set. And went as far as to go down every aisle that I was on, checking to see if I was going to drop said box or put it back, which I did not. But that is what a vulture is. And our friend, mutual friend that's in our toy chat, our toy group, found said Miles. And he said that it was in his basket. He went to use the bathroom, came back out, and basket was gone, or the stuff was gone. What did you say?
Unclear. It sounds like it was just taken directly out of the basket, which
Yeah.
is like the utmost offense as far as I'm concerned, man.
Okay, yeah, I'm reading the thing. It says someone took the stuff out of his basket.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got swiped.
And dude, and you know me nowadays, I often don't post things where I vent or anything online. I don't vague book very often, but I had to vague book today because it was just, that was my way of giving myself some sort of therapy through this thing. And like, of course, everybody's got a devil's advocate floating around on their Facebook page, and some dude was like, "Well, listen, here's the mitigating factors when it comes to vulturing." I'm like, go fuck yourself. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if the guy mistook the basket for a return basket or not. It shouldn't matter. It was parked. If he's in the restroom, it's parked right by the restroom. So you telling me they put return baskets by the restroom? Fucking asshat. That's not what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had groceries in my cart and gone to the bathroom and no one's messed with it. So.
Yeah. So what are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense. I don't get it, man. Like, and that's a whole nother. We can do a whole nother podcast about stupid ass, faceless, nameless, shitbag, devil's advocate, keyboard warrior losers, man. I don't care about them at all.
That is true.
But like, I guess that's what you open yourself up to when you have social media. God forbid you put something on there but have somebody's fucking half-assed, ham-fisted opinion typed up on it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, if hopefully, we'll in the group we'll be on the lookout for that same figure, and also if someone listens to this and they're able to find one, they can kind of contact us and say, "Hey, I got the hookup. Holler if you hear me."
Oh yeah, man! Drop me a line because I will gladly be PayPal ready. Like, I mean, I just, I'm blown away, man. Like, dude, this world, Robert, this world, Aaron.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
dude,
it's not.
What is this place anymore?
Dude, I like at our store, like when we had the signed Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett CDs, it was a shit show because this one dude, because we made it clear on our Instagram, one per person. That's it. Some guy tried to buy, like, he came in when we opened and tried to buy like 2 or 3, and then we were like, no, he can't do that. And he basically said to our face, "Oh, well, I'll just get more people to come in and buy some." And then it's like, you know what flippers look like? You know, like they have, you know what they look like? They're not like the typical like Lady Gaga fan. Like, you know,
no, you can spot them, bro. You can spot them, bro.
Yeah.
You know how you can see them, bro.
Yeah. And they all had the same line. "Hey, my wife wants one, so I'm just gonna like get it." And I mean, by the end of by like the afternoon, I'm like, yeah, these type of people, if they come in, I'm not even like selling them one. I'm gonna tell them, "Now we're out," you know.
Exactly.
You can tell the difference between a flipper and a person who's buying one for his significant other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
And also, I can tell people that are like, "Oh, yeah, they've never been in our store before," because of that. Back then, we were still telling people to wear masks, and like they were like, you know, they didn't understand. So it's like, "Oh, you haven't been in our store, so I've never seen you before." So yeah, it's, you know, that like I was born on a Saturday, but not last Saturday. So
Robert, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I'm willing to bet that same day you had that CD release, there was not a new pop drop at Hot Topic, right?
No, probably wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet there wasn't.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Or Pokemon cards getting delivered at Target that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Or better yet, the guy comes in, he's got his wife and his 17 kids.
Yeah.
16 of them are 2 years old.
Dude.
Hey, all my kids want a copy.
Oh, when we had the Selena Pops, that's a whole other can of worms that we had to deal with. So,
Ugh, fucking awful.
Yeah, this guy literally was like on his phone with like a handful of them. And I'm like, "You're not going to buy, I'm not going to sell you all of those." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, here's my 8-year-old. I'll just like, she's going to buy 2. I'm like,
what a fucking pathetic existence, dude.
She does.
Yeah, people do that. People definitely do that.
It's terrible.
Anyway, welcome. Yeah, you know what, dude? It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time until we lived up to the front row negative portion of this podcast.
This is the air our grievances.
I get called negative. I get called the negative person all the time. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
God bless America, dude.
I question things and I say I don't like this, and I give reasons why. Well, you're just a negative person. I get that all the time. There's so many times I have to delete posts or delete a comments on the videos because people are just like, "You're just a negative asshole." It's like, okay, if you're not going to deliver a comment that either asks a question or it's informative, I'm just going to delete it off the YouTube channel. I'm just going to get rid of it.
Yeah, you can see a troll coming from a mile away.
So,
surly clerks aren't born; they're made.
They're
molded. Forged in fire.
They are created. The villain backstory. That's why did we get this way? There's a reason.
Yeah.
We're born in the fires of Mordor, the big fucking white handprint across our face, and they wonder why we're so fucking mad.
We were good once. We really were, I promise.
We had lives. We had normal lives.
We normally liked the people.
We had flashbacks where we had picnics with our families and shit, and we were like hanging out and throwing frisbee with the dog, and some guy walks up. Say, bro.
Hey, man.
You got one of those ECCC exclusives? And my whole life just goes to shit.
Yeah.
It's like I used to be happy.
Really
that smiling face.
Yes.
I represented that smiling face at Walmart. They used to be on the vests. Not anymore. Not anymore.
That's
come on, bro. Come on.
Bro, come on, bro.
My dude.
Come
on, my dude.
Bro.
Hey, come on.
Well, speaking of bro,
we live in nowadays where assholes are timestamping their bullshit.
They are
with photos, Aaron.
They are. Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Like, this is how much of a prick I am. I've been here for 3 days. I'm a committed asshole.
They got to make that profit. They got to make that money.
I got a fucking profit for them.
Yeah, I bet you do. So, speaking of bros.
Sorry.
So, speaking of bros.
Bro.
The new episode of Hawkeye dropped.
Yes. Oh my god. The Tracksuit Mafia is killing me, dude.
Dude, I love the Tracksuit Mafia. I love them. They're so hilarious. They're so funny.
They are, but it reminds me of the same dickheads we just got done talking about.
I know.
I hate the word bro now.
Yeah.
Every time it comes on, I look over at Nicole and my face is like this. Of course, the listeners can't see it, but this is my face. I'm like,
bitter beer face.
Ooh,
yeah, because I'm like, I grew up in this town. I hear this word way too often.
But the way they do it, the way they say it and do it, it's hilarious because they're like, the guy's like, I'm trying to go Imagine Dragons, bro, and I cannot get tickets for my girlfriend, bro. And the way he says
admittedly, that was funny, yeah.
The way it's done is hilarious. No, bro, we shoot them in leg, bro. And it's so, I find it funny. I find it hilarious.
That's fair. I guess it was more of the shock of the first 2 episodes when they were doing it. I'm like, oh my god, am I in for this for the whole freaking series?
Almost. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh my god.
Well,
yeah, so episode 3.
Well, we're halfway through. We got 3 episodes left.
Oh, that's right. So, it's only like 6 episodes. Yeah,
it's only 6 episodes. But this episode, people are talking. They're arguing. Who is Uncle? Who is Uncle? So I'll pass the question off to y'all. Who do you think Uncle is? Do you think it's the person everybody wants it to be? Or do you think that we're going to get a big swerve and they're going to introduce somebody else?
I'll give the floor to Robert here first, because I'm sure Robert's got a take on it.
Remember when he and Katie were talking on the street, and they were talking about like Echo, like when he attacked, he's like, oh, is she the boss? It's like, no, she has a bigger boss.
A bigger boss.
I'm like, or something like that. Was it something like that? It was
something like that.
Like hinting there's someone above her.
Yeah, above her. Yeah.
That's more dangerous. It's more deadly. And I'm like,
oh yeah, he is, by the way.
Okay,
well, and if you watch the episode, you see the signs, literally the signs in the background.
Yeah.
Fat Man Auto Repair.
Yeah.
Dude.
The different name drops and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, who do you think it is? Do you straight up just think it's him, or do you think it's somebody else?
I think it's him, dude. I mean, if it's only 6 episodes, we're talking. So, it's only 6 episodes. They have to fast track a lot of this to get through it.
So the him we're talking about, we're thinking Kingpin. Mm-hmm. We think it's been heavily influenced that it could be Kingpin. D'Onofrio has wanted to come back to do Kingpin. He says that he's talked to Kevin Feige about coming back. He wants to do all this and this.
Yeah,
it could be good to do it. I think we're going to get swerved.
Really?
We're going to get swerved.
Uh-oh.
Is it Mephisto?
we're getting Mephistoed. We're getting Mephistoed with
my God.
People think it's the Kingpin. What if it's not? What if it's not Mephisto, but we get the Owl instead?
Oh, Owlsley? Oh my
Owlsley.
god.
We get Owlsley instead of Kingpin.
I mean, I guess anything's possible, man. But like, okay, so the rumor that we all know is that apparently Charlie Cox is going to be Daredevil, and he's going to be
That's the rumor.
The Abogado for Spider-Man in the new movie, supposedly.
And also a cameo in She-Hulk as well, too, to be across the courtroom from her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, and Charlie Cox did a fine job as Daredevil. He is Daredevil.
Yeah.
But on the same side of that coin, Vincent D'Onofrio is the Kingpin, and there's not going to be any. You can't have one without the other. Like,
well,
confirmed Charlie Cox is going to be Daredevil in the MCU yesterday.
Oh no, yeah, it was all over the online
thing.
But
he is, but not necessarily in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he is,
so, I mean,
but not in Spider-Man.
If we're talking about a whole new episode or a whole new series of Daredevil on Disney Plus, sure, absolutely.
So
yeah,
I mean, MCU has a habit of taking established characters and changing the origins. For instance, Iron Patriot was not Osborn in Iron Man 3.
True.
He wasn't Osborn. So we've already, and Mephisto wasn't in WandaVision. Was not in there at all. There's been no Magneto.
That we
know of. Magneto has not shown up yet, and even though we've had several tie-ins with Scarlet Witch and Pietro and all of them, so it's Marvel the movie series doing their own things. Yeah. And in fact, Spider-Man has not had any kind of interaction with Venom, yet there's a Venom now. So things can change. Echo doesn't have to be connected to Kingpin.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they did, but it doesn't have to happen. We're in that era of just good storytelling as long as the character looks like the character somehow.
Yeah.
Or there's Easter eggs and ties back to the original source. It doesn't have to be exact.
Okay.
So, I mean, big example, Stormbreaker. Thor used Stormbreaker, but who in the comics uses Stormbreaker?
Right, Battery Bill.
So, and we saw Battery Bill's head statue in Ragnarok, but still no Battery Bill yet. So,
and
liberties are taken.
And Ragnarok was kind of a Planet Hulk, but not really.
Yeah, liberties are taken. Liberties are taken. And then we had Planet Hulk, or we had a Gladiator Hulk, without the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, yes, that's right, yeah.
So, I mean, liberties can be taken. I would love to see Kingpin come back, but I would also be happy with the Owl because the Owl can be equally as scary as Kingpin.
Yeah.
He won't be comic book accurate, though. He looks like a complete fucking goon in the comics. But the thing is, like, who's going to play the Owl, right? If you had to fantasy cast it, who do you cast as the Owl?
Who would I bring in as the Owl? I wouldn't get somebody old. I would get somebody to kind of grow with the series in the background.
Yeah.
So, wow. That is kind of a tough question.
I have an answer.
Who?
Walter White.
Oh, Cranston. Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, I could see that.
That dude plays a sick ass villain. Like, I mean, really,
I could see that.
Yeah.
He's old, but still, like, I mean, the old villains don't get their hands dirty. Kingpin doesn't get his hands dirty.
But the Owl could get his hands dirty by eating people or biting people. To show that.
If he has to, he has those claws and shit like that. But like, here's what okay. So everybody put their tinfoil caps on because here's my belief. Okay.
Okay.
I fully think that this new Spider-Man movie, it's all speculatory, is going to be heavily influenced by the One Moment in Time storyline.
Yes, that's pretty accurate.
I sincerely think that's not Doctor Strange. If it is, it's Doctor Strange possessed by somebody, which we might finally get Mephisto. Mephisto was a major cog in that story.
Yeah.
Mephisto is a mystical character who can do shit like that.
Now,
he's Marvel's devil.
Now, do you think he's going to be possessed by Mephisto or by Agatha? Because Agatha's going to get her series too.
I mean,
they're signing on for her for I think 2023 or 2022 late for her own series.
I think it might be too soon to bring her into the movies if you're going to have her own TV series. You need more because we're talking about the what's it called? Agatha Harkness.
Harkness, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
subtitle?
Book of Souls or Book of Darkness, Harkness something.
It's that book in the comics, the
Yes.
Darkhold or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many mystical characters that Marvel's MCU stuff hasn't even touched on, and we're about to get Blade. We're about to get Morbius. I can guarantee you we're going to get a brand new Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Venom.
We're
We're
about
going
to
to
get Moon Knight.
Yep.
We're
About to get Moon Knight as well.
Yeah, we're getting all the gritty street level mystical shit you can handle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's way overdue. So we can get Blackheart. We can get a better representation of that.
Yes.
There's so many things that we haven't even touched on. Marvel Scarecrow, but I think a lot of it, in my estimation, is going to take place on the Disney Plus series. You're going to see a lot of it. You're talking about, like you said, all the Marvel Knights stuff. This is all Marvel Knights shit that's happening.
That's true. That is true.
In essence. And I don't think we'll ever get a Punisher series on Disney Plus. I mean, I guess it's possible. It'd be the raciest thing they've ever put on Disney Plus.
Disney has already said that they're going to make a Deadpool movie. That's going to be rated R.
But is it going to be under the Disney umbrella, or is it going to be under...
Disney
Fox?
umbrella.
Really?
Disney umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean...
Disney goes to Hulu.
Yeah.
So it probably would be a Hulu
and
series.
in Canada, if you have Disney Plus in Canada, bless them Canadians, they have the Final Destination movies. Or no, the Wrong Turn movies. Sorry, Wrong Turn movies.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Disney Canada. Disney Plus Canada has the Wrong Turn movies on their app.
That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
would not have guessed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess anything's possible, man. All I know is that I really want it to be a D'Onofrio
Kingpin.
I do too.
And he doesn't need any digital bullshit. Give it the Peter Jackson treatment. Give us the right camera angles, and you can make that motherfucker 12 feet tall.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they need to do.
It could happen. I mean, I'm hoping it's Kingpin, but I won't be surprised if it's Hammerhead or somebody else.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, stretch it out if they have to. I mean, they're not. It's not that they haven't done it before. They can do it again. They can stretch everything out. So
that's true. So what did y'all think of Echo in the episode? How they kind of redefined her? Because they not only did it give her the deafness, they also gave her the amputated foot.
Yeah.
They kind of retconned her as being essentially a Daredevil style hero or a character in this one, where she's been training since she was young to overcome her odds and her disability and basically becoming a badass. I mean, just replace blindness with deafness and you've got Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I mean, admittedly, I didn't read that Daredevil run, so I'm not.
See, that's what. See, like I'm always been like a big David Mack fan, and I read the Parts of a Whole story like years ago, and I don't even know if I still have the trades or not. No, I have the issues, but like I want to get the trades and kind of reread it and go back. But that's when I knew Echo, and I was like, oh man, they did a good job of casting her, and that whole Parts of a Whole storyline. Yeah, I read not just for the David Mack, the beautiful artwork, but it's a cool story.
It is.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it is a good story. So, yeah, I thought Echo was cast great. I thought the character was really well done with who they were using. I like the little Easter egg of the bloody hand on the face. When her dad's dying.
Yes.
Thought that was great, and I was overall good.
Yeah.
So,
quick side note: Nicole was saying she's asking if they could use Kingpin since Kingpin was in Spiderverse. I think so, obviously, because I mean Disney owns Sony. If Sony knows what's good for it, they know what side of their bread is buttered on. They're going to play nice no matter what Disney decides to do.
I mean,
so
I think they can, because I mean we had the Spider-Man that was technically Tobey in Spider-Verse at the very beginning. That was technically Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then we got the other Spider-Man. We got the different versions. As long as it's a different version of said character, I don't think I'll mind. I mean, they even had that Green Goblin in that animated movie as well.
Yeah.
The big hulking flying goblin.
Yeah.
But they had a Green Goblin that was in there. We had a Hammerhead that was in there. I think Tombstone was also in there as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and several different Doc Ocks. We had different Doc Ocks. So I think with it being a multiverse, that could be their loophole to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's not D'Onofrio Kingpin, but animated giant roadblock Minecraft-looking Kingpin.
I really hope the fact that seemingly Doc Ock's going to be helping Spider-Man.
Mhm.
We've learned this much from the trailers.
Yes.
I really hope this goes into a superior Spider-Man storyline.
We could if you kind of piece together the trailers for that, you can kind of see that because of what color Doc Ock's tentacles start turning in one of the little scenes. So
Yep. I mean, I think Doc Ock. At the end of the day, this version of Doc Ock knows that he's not going to make the same mistake twice. Essentially.
Yeah, I think
he realizes he's essentially that the universe is giving him a second chance to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And always, honestly, what I've, at least I say always, 9 times out of 10, as far as Marvel's concerned, even if a bad guy sees the light, there's always that seed of where they came from and who they are. A tiger doesn't lose his stripes, right? So, like, at the end of the day, they're going to fight. He's going to turn back to what he knows because something's going to go wrong. I always feel like the Marvel villains, if they go good, are always on this hair trigger to go back. I mean, because it's. And maybe that's just the writing part of it. Just, we've been trained that way over the years because we know it's going to come full circle. But, maybe something's going to happen where Doc Ock's going to be like, you know what? I didn't do enough or something's about to fail.
Yeah.
And we're going to have multiple Spider-Men to work with in this movie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me it's not entirely possible that Andrew Garfield, whose movies... Let's be honest, didn't live up to the moniker of Spider-Man as far as movies are concerned.
Yeah.
True.
You mean to tell me that Andrew Garfield turned down a second stab of being Spider-Man as the superior Spider-Man?
Well, I was going to ask, or have the thought that what if Doc Ock does the mind wipe with, or the mind swipe with Garfield to take him out to continue it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. It'd be a fun.
Toby's
concept.
old, man. Toby's old and aged out. If there's anybody in this movie who's going to do it, I'm sorry. He's 67 years old. All right, 67. So they can't spend all this money on digitalizing a fucking Tobey Maguire for another round of movies. But Andrew Garfield, as far as I know, not doing a whole lot nowadays. So if you're Andrew Garfield, you sure as fuck signed up for that fucking truck of money backed up to your house.
True.
Are you kidding?
That is very true.
Shit, where do I sign? Are you kidding? Come on. And dude, you both of y'all read the Superior Spider-Man stories?
Yeah.
I read Volume 1.
Okay, good enough.
I read Volume 1.
Dude, Spider-Man. It's kind of like the Kane Parker mentality for Superior Spider-Man. All the power, none of the responsibility.
Yeah, except for when he's in the shower. Yeah, well, I remember that part.
Hey, go back and you read your Charles Spider Yost run, man. It's there's so many things. I really feel like this is one of those fucking turning points for this next what they call them, phases.
Yes,
this is gonna be a huge fucking turning point phase movie. And then Doctor Strange even more so. I think after this movie, a lot of people are not gonna be sleeping on the Strange movie. Once they start throwing trailers out on that movie's going to pull down a lot of fucking bank too.
I think with the Strange sequel first they had people's attention when they announced that Raimi was going to be attached to it.
Yeah,
man. Can't wait.
I think that got people's attention. Now that they're tying everything to that movie, it's getting more attention to it because they're like, okay, Spider-Man's going to lead us here. What is Strange 2 going to do? So
you're giving Sam Raimi every toy in the toy box.
Pretty much.
Okay, and didn't they just go back and do reshoots?
They did.
I think they did.
Okay,
yeah.
And the reason for that is, in my opinion, if I had to guess, is that with as much as that is hinged upon all these stories and all these things, and everybody's so fucking invested in MCU, you have to literally pull the wool over the people's eyes that are involved in the movies directly. Didn't they film like alternate bullshit for Endgame and stuff they didn't even use, or Infinity War?
Yeah.
Right?
Did,
if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's to say it didn't happen for Doctor Strange? You know what I mean?
Well,
because
speaking of that rumor, what I've heard for Spider-Man No Way Home is that depending which theater you go to, you get one of 3 different endings.
Don't tell me that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because of the multiverse type of
They're
deal.
pulling a clue?
Yeah.
Wow.
Supposedly you're getting one of 3 different endings because of the multiverse thing.
But yeah, then I'm about to say, what are we seeing at Devin's birthday thing? I don't know what the fuck we're going to even see.
I don't know.
Oh my god, they're going to get all my money!
Okay.
They're going to get all my money! Son of a bitch!
We're gonna go to AMC and a Cinemark.
I'm going to be pulling so many fucking popcorn kernels out of my teeth, dude. It's going to be funny.
But that's just the rumor, though. That's just the rumor because when they did the test screenings earlier, they only showed like 80% of the movie. They didn't show the ending to the people for press screenings. So this could be a reason why they're doing that. Is to have 3 different endings, and you have to go back and see it again to know which ending you got.
Okay.
So,
man, look, I'm not complaining. I'm not upset that I have to go watch it again. That was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But now I got to fucking make a goddamn game plan of which theater I'm going to go to and shit like that. Oh my god.
Or
this
just watch it
over at Friendswood. And this
just watch it once. Watch it once. Wait till the DVD comes out. Then you get all 3 at the same time.
No, you wait.
I will.
I got kids. I have to.
I have to wait.
What?
I do got kids.
I was doing an Aaron impression, but yeah.
I
no,
just
man,
got Regal Movie Pass. Oh, God.
Oh,
Regal Movie.
Goddamn.
Yeah, Regal
Dude,
Movie
that's
Pass.
exciting though. Okay, so
Yeah.
that just proves my point.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to make this. I mean, they've already done like a phase 1 box set, right? There's
Yes,
going
they
to be at some point. There's going to be this grandiose. When everything's on streaming and nobody buys DVDs or Blu-rays anymore,
Yeah.
there's gonna be this grandiose box set with all the fucking disc of alternate endings.
Everything. Yeah.
It's gonna cost $8 million. It's gonna be Amazon exclusive,
Wow.
and everyone that they ship out is gonna be damaged.
So, are you saying that Bezos is the real Thanos?
Yes,
He's inevitable.
100%.
He
is
Yeah,
inevitable.
because they put up the 4K of the Raimi trilogy. It's coming out in February. I think it's like 75 on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you pre-order it now, what was it? At Sony.com, it was like 40 for the digital, and then 65 for the physical. So
I'm always gonna be a hard copy guy. I don't.
Yeah.
I love the idea of streaming, but you're never gonna get me away from buying a hard copy of something I love.
Yeah. But speaking of Spider-Man, we had a teaser trailer drop recently too of Spider-Man.
God.
Of said Spider-Man. Well, not just any Spider-Man, but the Miles Morales movie that came out that has a huge following with Spider-Man across the Spiderverse.
Dude.
Part 1.
Part 1. Unreal.
So we're getting a trilogy of movies of Miles that's CG. And if you see the trailer, if you saw the teaser, I'm excited.
It looks good, yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited for who's in it because I was hoping that he would get more screen time. Then the poster drops, which shows more. Yeah, there's a poster. There is a poster.
I did not know that.
And in the poster, if you look it up, you've got Miles, you've got Spider-Gwen, you've got 2099. Then if you look down in the bottom, you've got Peter Benjamin Parker. He's back. On the other side, on the left-hand side, you see a giant robot, a giant mech that looks like it came straight out of Japan.
Yeah.
What? Are they going to give you the emissary of hell?
They are.
Oh no!
So in the poster, Spider-Man is there.
Oh man, you're not ready for that, dude.
I got 2099 and I got Spider-Man.
You're not ready for that.
In the same movie.
Shit.
Oh god.
Oh, where is this? I'm looking right now for this poster.
Look for it. It's out there.
Oh, where the hell is it at? Oh my god. I'm at Google Images. I put Spider-Verse 2 movie poster. Maybe I should do
Part 1.
Oh, Spider-Verse 2 Part 1 movie poster?
Yeah, across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay. That's probably where I messed up on.
Part 1. But we've got Moore is returning back as Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Awesome.
Haley's coming back as Gwen Stacy. Oscar Isaac is returning as Miguel O'Hara as 2099.
Dude.
Which is great. I mean, that was good casting. Jake Johnson's returning as Peter B. Parker.
Is it this one?
me see. Yes, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That is it. Yeah, Chris has shown me the poster. I'll put that on our Instagram when this episode drops.
Okay, yeah, because I can see it. Okay, God, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's in there.
Wow.
And then also, Issa Rae as Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman.
Wait, who's Issa Rae?
She's an up and comer. She hasn't really done. I looked up her IMDb to see what she's done. She did a few music videos. She did a lot of TV and a lot of indie films, but nothing really to really kind of bring her home. This will move. This movie
genre related. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is going to make her name. This movie, especially if the rumors that Spider-Woman is like a main character, it's going to make her name.
And this is an official movie poster, by the way? Like, this is something that they put out, that Sony put out?
Yep.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because in that trailer, man, if you noticed, Spider-Gwen's costume was different. She didn't have... on Spider-Gwen, regularly, she has the webbing in the little... in the elbow crease. That pink and blue. On that trailer, she had, like, gloves. Like, her gloves were pink and blue. And she had on Chuck Taylor's on instead of ballerina shoes.
Oh, nice.
And
she's supposed to get a costume change.
Okay, yeah, because then also Miles had what I can only describe as a Miles Morales, Bruce Lee, yellow and black kung fu fight suit.
Pretty much he had his what's the movie he fought? Not Chinese Connection, the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, Game of Death.
Game of Death. He had like the red and black Game of Death style tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's a good time to be alive when people aren't taking shit out of your basket at Walmart.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's I mean, just from that teaser alone, it's great. It looks like, more dimensional more multiverse dimensional travel with the heroes, in between the heroes. That's great as long as the story makes sense. I'm definitely all for it.
So many good movies coming out. Everybody's going to want to go see them. As far as I know, they're not going to be streaming Spider-Verse across the Spider-Verse anywhere. You're going to have to go to the theater to see it, right?
Not yet, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
As a public service announcement, I just want to point out that I got vaccinated. My balls didn't fall off. I don't have a second head. Everything's fine. So if I just throw it out there, please, with the Unicron virus or whatever, the fucking Megatron variant, go out there and just get a fucking vaccination. I'll get back to regular life and watch movies together like normal fucking people.
See, I got my booster today, and I found the Doctor Strange figure, so I think that's good karma. Like,
there you go, man. I'm looking to get my booster. I honestly haven't done it, but I need to do it this week, man. Like like I said, I haven't grown any mutant powers or anything like that. I'm okay. And guess what?
Damn it.
Guess what? Tinfoil boy, you'll be okay too. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they're opening the door for Spider-Man. So is there any Spider-Man that you want to see in this movie, either as a background character or just as a fan favorite that you want to see happen? Who do you want to see in there?
Give me Kane Parker.
Kane Parker. Okay.
Kane Parker. And even if it's not red and black suit, Houston Kane Parker. Give us the clone Parker, with the long hair and the viney looking shit over his body. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And honestly, dude, like, I'm surprised. Okay, in that figure set we were talking about, the Legends that came out recently, there's a Moreland figure. Yes. Moreland is a gigantic part of Spider-Verse in the comic books. And so, do we see Moreland in the live action?
That's the rumor. No, that's the rumored villain for Across the Spider-Verse is Moreland.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Because, that figure was not made on accident.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a fan vote. It wasn't a fan choice. That figure was made for a reason. No,
the Moreland and his family of, like, fucking Lestat vampires, like, that's a whole...
So
major part of that.
With Moreland, do we get Ezekiel? Do we get other people? What if?
I like how you use the word "the other." Do we get the other?
What if Ezekiel from another Spider-Verse is the Uncle Ben that we never got in this series?
I mean, maybe.
So my only hope, besides, I'm already happy with those two castings with Spider-Man. In 2099, I'm happy with those.
That's gonna be awesome.
Spider-Man.
That's
all that
Power Ranger style opening. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. He better have a Power Ranger opening. He better have a Power Ranger style opening.
You know he will, dude. He'll
Yeah.
show like backflipping into a field of grass and like some like sparklers going off.
Explosions behind him as he transforms.
Yeah. Oh man.
I gotta say Spider Punk, because you've got Spider Gwen, who was a drummer, Spider Punk, who's a guitarist.
Are you wanting to see a love triangle between?
A love triangle with Miles. Yeah.
Oh man, she'll be torn. She might be torn.
She could write a song about it. I mean, Taylor Swift did.
She'll be the Taylor Swift of the Spider-Verse? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
She will. but
I
any
got
Spider...
a spider-web, baby, and I'll whip your name. Yeah, I'm feeling on that.
So, like, any Spider-Man that you want to see in this movie, that you're hoping to see in this movie.
Man, what about the old Fox series Spider-Man, the animated?
Oh,
one?
Christopher Daniel Barnes.
Christopher Daniel Barnes. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Or the old school '67 Spider-Man.
That'd be good. That'd be a good choice too.
Didn't the actor from the live-action series like put out a fucking statement that he's pissed off he was not involved or something like that?
He was mad that he wasn't called to do. He was mad that he wasn't called to do No Way Home. That he wasn't called to do No Way Home.
He's old, like old.
He could do Across the Spider-Verse as like a background.
Yeah.
He could do that.
Come on, man. You know, I mean, do something in the Spider-Verse where they can animate it to some degree. That way, you don't have to worry about having some decrepit old man trying to reel it. I mean, dude, everybody wants this money. I get it, but like, come on.
I'm kind of hoping that they put this Spider-Man, this version in there, just because it'd be hilarious if they did. But I mean, we've already got Spider-Ham, who's hilarious. I'm hoping that they bring in Lego Spider-Man, just as like a cameo.
Oh yeah.
Just a small cameo. That would be great. But I know Warner Brothers owns like the Lego movies. They do all that stuff. But just for like a brief second, we get Lego Spider-Man, maybe Lego Madam Web, just to kind of guide him through or whatever. But just to have that'd be funny.
If Warner Brothers is smart and they see that Sony's playing ball, maybe Warner Brothers will play ball too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because you know what I'm not lined up to go see on opening night? Anything that Warner Bros. Is putting out outside of maybe Batman. But everything Marvel's
I was about to ask you, what about Batman? What about that?
That's the only one I really even care to go see.
Fantastic Beasts. Harry Potter, sir.
Okay, your wife just trumped you with another series, so
my wife's a Potterhead.
They're still doing those?
I only missed
two
questions on that Harry Potter house thing.
Yeah, Chris, 2 questions on that.
We're going to see Potter.
That's right.
Okay, so I'll go see the Harry Potter movies too.
Good luck to you.
Screening.
Yeah, well, here's hoping that there's a Harry Potter Spider-Man, dear, in the Spider-Verse movie.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Anyways.
No, that wouldn't.
Gryffindor!
Oh my god. Anyways.
El Flippo Apprehendo? Is that what
yeah, seriously, man. Okay.
Abracadabra. I don't know. So this trailer dropped, and yeah, it's been great. I've watched it a few times. I'm hyped for it. I like how they jumped into different animation scenes from like the cell shaded to like the 3D, the Tron looking stuff, the reboot, the reboot looking city stuff. It was great. So I'm hyped for that. Cannot wait for that to come back.
Maybe when he's beating his ass through the Spider-Verse or whatever the hell he's doing, they bust out through the rip of time and they go through the video shoot for Hero from Chad Kroger and Josie. What's his face from?
There you go. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
They fly in on the wings of an eagle. Like, whoa, what? You know?
or you see Tom Holland like sitting down eating coffee with Mary Jane somewhere, and they look up and they see 2 Spider-Man fighting into the sky through portals, just going through.
Oh wow, that'd be dope.
That'd be hilarious, but it'd be a good kind of a tie around to that.
Oh yeah,
that'd be hilarious. So going from that, kind of change the pace, trying to change the subject a little bit, or genre. We've all kind of sort of watched what we're going to talk about next. It happened over this past weekend. We had NXT's War Games pay-per-view.
War Games!
I tuned in late. I, myself, like Chris, haven't really been watching a lot of WWE. I watched it recently just to figure out what's going on, and I forget half of it as I'm watching it. So I'm not even going to try to defend if I get something wrong. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong.
Yeah,
But
who cares exactly?
but I did watch War Games. Can't remember most of it. I remember that I enjoyed some of it, but it happened. So I know, Robert, you watched most of it. You probably keep up more WWE stuff than anything.
I have paid attention to everything except the 2 War Games matches. I mean, I was kind of like just doing other stuff, like folding clothes, doing stuff, and then just like when I was listening to it, and then I heard like, oh yeah, this guy won, or that this person won, and whatever. And I mean, actually, it was like, I wasn't doing anything that last night, so I just, I mean, I even watched the pre-show, and god damn, Sam Roberts is horrible. Like, how do they? I mean, I get
Dude,
it.
that guy was born horrible.
I get it. He's a WWE shill, so that's why they have him on there.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's. Yeah. So, but man, that was a terrible pre-show. Like, I remember the old NXT pre-shows. They had Renee Young and Paul Heyman. Like, those were great pre-shows, and because they would go back and forth and have stuff. But man, well, because it's like that's why this is so sad. Because like I've been watching NXT since like it first came on the network. Like when Pac was Neville and he won the championship, and that's like when I jumped on.
You used to be a believer. I used to be a believer.
Exactly, I was. I was a believer. Yeah, and then like every time they came to town, I'd go to the house shows, and so
I did the same. I did the same.
Yeah.
I went to the house shows. I went to anything that was coming through. I was there.
Yeah. The first War Games. I mean, that was a freaking amazing show.
It was. It really was.
Here's how I'm treating NXT now. Okay, I'm a happily married man. All right, I've had bad experiences with ex-girlfriends. Now, even the past relationships you had that ended shitty, but you still had some good times there. I mean, there's always something to take away from a relationship, right? Me and NXT, we had a bad breakup. Okay, we had some great times. Great times. But that bitch won't stop texting me, and I'm not paying attention. I don't care. You changed your hair. You changed what you wear. You don't go to the same places no more. You changed your style of music. Everything about you. I don't even. Who are you anymore?
Yeah,
this is why we broke up, because I don't know you anymore.
It's you're tearing me apart at least a moment.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, Rainbow Sherbert NXT is not for me. And if what I understand is true, if Johnny Gargano is left, dude, I think he made the right decision. I'm sorry. The company's moving away from all things Triple H and Black and Gold. They are.
Oh yeah,
plain and simple. So what's the point in hanging on? I mean, really.
That you raise a good point. They've turned away from what made them popular, and they've kind of gone the Wale Mania style of wrestling because of the sold out shows during WrestleMania that hip hop artist Wale puts out, and they're kind of going off that vibe to do that. Even though Wale Mania, while it sells out, it only happens around WrestleMania, so it's right.
And I hate to be the one to point this out again, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but we're fucking old. And Vince thinks as far as Vince is concerned, we should all be wearing adult diapers and living in an assisted home.
Well, I remember a comment that Vince once said a long time ago. He says the wrestling superstars will always get older. The fans will never age. I think I butchered that. The wrestlers will get older. The fans will never age.
Yeah.
So
that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This is why it's such a good time to be a fan of other wrestling outlets.
It is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. So I'm just going to give the final War Games match my favorite, because that's what I remember the most, even though it was probably the worst. That's what I'm going to give it. I did find it funny that that Braun Breaker couldn't break down a door. Braun locked out.
That's what I
big,
thought.
Big bad Braun Breaker.
Yeah, when they were doing the bolt cutters thing, I thought, oh, he's just going to come along and rip it off. That's
Yeah.
just that's what I thought they were setting up for. And it's like, oh, he's got the bolt cutters, and then they just they cut away awkwardly to not show you what happened. So yeah,
they didn't solve for X on that stuff.
No, and the funny thing is that they focused on Pete Dunne, and what did Pete Dunne basically looks and goes, "What? He can't break the door down?"
Yeah,
and he's
on camera.
Really badass. Yeah.
He can't break the door down on camera.
Yeah.
You mean Steiner Jr. can't break the door?
Or
Fucking
also too,
meathead.
that wasn't, it's in a smaller place, so it's not like the normal War Games cage. I mean, that was probably 10 feet at the most. He could have just climbed up there and climbed over it or something. Done something.
No, man, all that creatine muscle, all that fake water muscle.
Yeah.
You can't actually do any real work.
Yeah, guess
kidding?
not. Yeah.
Yeah. So Robert, what was your favorite? So what was your favorite match of that?
Definitely the men's one, because that's the one I most paid attention to.
Okay.
I saw the women's one. Like I said, my expectations for that were low because of the ladder match from the last takeover they did, and it was just man, how they didn't all just wind up in the hospital is beyond me, because they were just they were killing each other with those ladders.
Yeah,
and
they were.
I thought, man, and I mean, I get it. They need trash cans and kendo sticks and all that stuff to kind of sell the match, but yeah. I mean, there were some cool spots, like the whole when Dakota Kai got shoved completely in the trash can, and but yeah, I think that was kind of cool, and I mean, Io knows what she's doing in there, because she's been in these before, and
that's true.
I mean, that wasn't as bad. But yeah, the other matches, like I said, there was a hair match, and the guy didn't even get his hair. The guy didn't even get his head shaved. Basically,
he got a skullet. He got a skullet.
Yeah, he got a skullet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he got a skullet.
Yeah, and then Roderick Strong, he beat a guy that he retained the cruiserweight belt, but it's a guy that's not a cruiserweight.
Poor Roddy Strong, man. What a that poor guy. You know what? You got to give it up to him for his loyalty, man. He's not that rat is not jumping off that sinking ship.
His wife's in AEW.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I give it up to him, man. I mean, he's a company man. That's the kind of guy you want if you're going to hire somebody. I get it, but you got to see the forest for the trees, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I told Nicole the other day, it'd be really cool. This is me fantasy booking. Okay, wait. Before I do all that, side note, I assume you'd ask me what I thought what my favorite match was.
Yes, I'll wait for the answer.
The only match I watched, which was the men's match, and that's literally because we just turned it on because we got done watching something.
Hey,
else.
Fair enough.
Okay, so there were some great spots in there. Anytime Pete Dunne's in the ring, he's got my full attention. Mm-hmm. That dude. And it's not even high impact. It's not his cool finisher. It's not fucking anything. It's the hand shit. It's the taking your finger and putting it through the fence and bending it over the other side of the hole in the fence that makes your skin crawl.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that I love, man. Pete Dunne is a beast. Johnny Gargano is going to have to go down as one of the greatest NXT performers of all time.
Yeah.
And it's not just lip service. It's not because he's Johnny Takeover. No, that dude works his ass off, and I've never seen a bad Johnny match, regardless of who his opponent was.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
He's good.
So that was by far my match of the night. And I think if I had to give any kind of notoriety to any of these Sherbert NXT guys, it's going to be the one that was dressed like Little Mac from Punch-Out. What was that?
Grayson Wallace or Grayson Wills?
That guy.
Oh, Grayson
Wallace. The bumps he took.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah, I didn't know. He had a good match last week.
Well, I don't know who he is. I mean, to me, he's just it's like they got B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted and put him in a tracksuit and threw him in the match.
Oh, yeah. He was the one in the trash can, right? Where they were I don't know, who was it? LA Knight that was kicking the shit out of the trash can while he was in there. I was like, stop kicking him, you're going to kill him! He was like, let's just put the boots to it. So fantasy booking, here's what I hope happens. one would assume that if Johnny Gargano leaves and comes back to wrestling, you would think it'd be AEW where all the wrestling is happening.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I thought there was a but there.
No. I mean, at this point, the world is oyster. He can go where he wants, but I feel like if you're Johnny Gargano, you want to go where there are the most talented, the most, and that's not taking anything away from other organizations. The most, it's the promotion with the steam. It's the promotion that's got everybody else's attention outside of, and much props to Impact and GCW and all this shit. They're putting their best foot forward, from what I can tell. But AEW just has the juice, man. I mean, what can you say? You got Jacksonville money. Khan wipes his ass with $5 million bills. What are you going to do with that?
You've also got overcrowding in there too, and I don't want to see somebody get lost in the shuffle like Brian Cage, like Joey Janela, all these guys who are getting lost because even Ricky Starks is getting lost, and
You're right, and I can't argue with that. But my only retort to that is, if you want to beef your numbers up on your dark and your elevation, that's where you need to do it. You need to give, you know what I mean?
You can do that. You can.
It doesn't need just to be. It doesn't just need to be indie guys coming in doing tryouts, which I get, and that's what that's the whole point, right? But like, there still needs to be a thread between dark and dark elevation. You got to have something. Yeah. You got to have your Brock Lesnar, if you will, your Roman Reigns of dark and elevation.
You do.
They don't have that.
But here's what I'm gonna. Here's what's coming out. They just signed Jay Lethal. They just signed him.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to bring in Danhausen. I mean, you've got people who ROH is basically gone. So you have all the talent that was the ROH, PCO, the Briscoes. All those people have to go. They got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could do MLW, you could do Impact, you could do New Japan, you could do all these different places that can take certain people. With Johnny Gargano, and I'm hoping that whenever he does leave the company, that when he leaves WWE, that he goes to Japan. Because some of these people need to go and work Japan for a little bit, just to kind of get that edge, to get that killer
strong style.
The strong style. Gargano needs it, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because in WWE, Gargano was just a more indie darling Zack Ryder.
Yeah,
he was just a more indie darling Zack Ryder. He didn't win a lot of matches. And if he did win matches, it was because something happened. Mm-hmm. And so he needs to a degree, rebuild up his character, rebuild up his strong style in Japan, or maybe Impact. Have him be the dominant guy on Impact.
Mm-hmm.
That would bring ice. He would bring ice to Impact. I'm sorry. I would go pay attention to Impact.
But I feel if he went to AEW, Gargano would just get lost in the shuffle because they've got Cole, they've got Punk, they've got Daniel, they've got all these guys over there that are eating everybody away. And then they just signed Jay Lethal and was the other guy, Daniel Garcia over there. You got all these guys who are just
tell them my idea
are too much. So
see, but you're thinking of it from a fan point of view.
Yes.
If you break kayfabe, you look at it from a Johnny Wrestling point of view. You sure would be enticed by a big paycheck in lesser days, and you just have a newborn coming.
That's true.
Do you want to go to Japan and get your ass beat and not see your family for months at a time?
But
so it's like
same thing happened to Brian Cage. New kid on the way, and he's mid card, if even that.
Brian Cage is awesome. I'm not taking anything away from Brian Cage. Yeah. Is Brian Cage good on the mic though?
No, he wasn't
bad.
He's not bad, but he wasn't trained.
I remember him from like Lucha Underground. Like that's kind of like how I remember him, and I don't remember him being like a big talker. He was just the guy that came out and just beat the crap out of people.
In my humble opinion, it's almost, and I hate to say this because I feel like there's it's an inconvenient truth.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, he's too big of a dude for AEW. I hate to say that. Big guys don't do well in AEW.
Yeah,
he came in as the legit like former champion from Impact. Like he lost the belt and came in as that, and he had a huge following coming with him to AEW. So I just don't want to see Johnny get lost in the shuffle, which I see that happening because He's not a member of the elite. B,
Right.
you don't have people constantly chanting his name for 7 years, waiting for him to come over.
Right.
C, you don't have people chanting his gimmick when he's not on TV all the time. He doesn't have those mainstays. And while he is a good wrestler, I'm not taking that away from him. He's just going to get lost. He's just going to get lost.
If I had to guess, you're talking about Punk and you're talking about Bryan Danielson. You're talking about these guys.
Adam Cole.
Yeah,
Talking about everybody that they just brought in.
Adam Cole will be the exception to the rule to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, that shelf life, hate to say it, not very long.
It's not. That's why they're working with younger
yeah.
talent to build them over.
Yeah, they're only going to be there for a few years and they're going to go again. Okay, so if you're Johnny Gargano and you want to take off a couple years and do some indie stuff to help out the indies, if you're Johnny Gargano, that dude's got a heart of gold, man. From all intents and purposes, that guy I can guarantee you would do some impact and shit like that on some one-off deals just to bring eyes to the product.
Mm-hmm.
While he's only committing to so many shows, he's helping raise his child.
Yeah.
And all this shit. And when you start seeing Punk, you start seeing Danielson and stuff wind down because, let's face it, Bryan Danielson can hurt himself any day now. Yeah. That guy goes 90 miles a minute. CM Punk is the grandpa that we all wanted to see come back. I love CM Punk. Yeah. But he's not the CM Punk we remember.
Right.
And again, to that point, who can blame him? Who can blame him?
Kenny Omega's so hurt.
And Kenny Omega's hurt, so he's going to be gone. Yeah. So now you're seeing the focus shift to those guys, which is great.
You are.
Which is great. And Nicole had a point. Kyle O'Reilly supposedly is going to have his stuff lined up pretty soon at NXT. And if you're Kyle O'Reilly and you're not a complete fucking idiot, you leave and you go to AEW to be with Fish and Cole.
Okay. So here's this. I'm going to do this. You could choose one of these three: Kevin Owens, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano. You can only choose one of those to bring into AEW. Who do you bring in, and where do you put them?
I want to answer because I want to say what I said last night.
I'll let my wife answer first. Go ahead, dear.
Kyle O'Reilly. So you see Fish and O'Reilly. So you're building up the tag division with Red Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And they go with Cole. And Cole is like, these are my new friends now. And you see the Elite versus the Era.
Like a hostile takeover of the Elite.
Yeah.
And I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I can definitely see that.
So let's say you do that. I think I brought my point I'm about to bring up. I brought up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Tony Khan doesn't show up on TV very often, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't Vince McMahon himself into storylines and shit like that. He's not the evil boss and all that bullshit.
No.
But
he tried doing that, but he got made fun of.
Exactly.
He tried.
Bless his heart. He tried.
He tried.
Sin for the Khan.
We need Cody in that role, damn it.
Oh my god.
Cody won't be healed.
Not there, but still.
Anyway, here's what I think you do. You bring in Kyle O'Reilly, and I will answer your question, Aaron, here directly. If I had to pick this one, I'll get back to that. But I gotta get this off my chest.
Okay.
You bring in Kyle O'Reilly, you do the program where you have the hostile takeover of the Elite. The Elite are getting their ass beat by Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And hell, if Roddy Strong has a change of heart and he gets out of his fucking contract, bring his ass over too.
Well, if his wife
the Undisputed Era fucking worked. Undisputed Era was the heartbeat of NXT. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody with common sense can see that.
Yeah.
So the Elite are down and out and they're getting their ass beat. You bring in your boy Kevin Owens to fight against the Undisputed Era. So now you have the Mount Rushmore versus Undisputed Era, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you have that program going on. Everything's going awry. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many chiefs in the colony, whatever you want to call it. And Tony Khan, comes out and says, "Hey man, look, here's the deal. You guys are running roughshod. I'm losing control of my company. I've brought this guy in. I put this role in place. You guys don't listen to me." And you've fought against everything I've tried, and everyone I've brought in has failed. So if you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
Commissioner Moxley?
Oh.
No.
DIY.
DIY.
Oh, okay.
Ciampa, you tell me with a straight face. Tell me with a straight face. Ciampa wouldn't leave NXT to work less dates for just as much, if not more money,
Oh yeah,
to go back with Ciampa to have a major program in AEW where they get to be the friends they've been for the longest fucking time, and they get to revisit and start all over again at a whole new company.
And then he gets to retire because he's old too.
And he's old too.
Yeah, and his next, he's got a shelf life, you know. So.
I agree with that. That's a lot of people coming over.
Unfortunately, we are seeing it right now, and nobody agrees. No one agrees with Vince. No one's saying Vince is right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not over, you're not over. If you don't cut it, you don't cut it. Now, we can sit here for hours on end and talk about how many guys in AEW are needless. You know what I mean? And that's just an opinion of mine. Okay, and I'm not gonna name names and say, but it's just all opinion. Like, there's guys in AEW I don't give a shit about. Yeah. So if they're not there, it's not gonna hurt my feelings any. And so that's unfortunately the way it is, right? Mm-hmm. You're a fledgling new company. You're wanting to make an impact on the wrestling community, the wrestling business. You want to be known. You want to be accepted. And you want to be putting your flag down, staking your claim in the industry. Of course, you're going to absorb every last hot commodity there is in indie wrestling to bring all those eyes to your product. 100%. No one's saying it's right, but your boy Joey Janela, you brought up that name. Joey Janela is kind of a one-trick pony. He's the Kid Rock of the AEW, and he's kind of boring. That's my personal opinion.
But that's also he's been pushed off TV though too because of all the new talent.
Job performance, right?
Yeah, and how
if you make an impact, they'll keep you on TV,
you know? Yeah.
Right? And now, it bears mentioning. I'm sorry, Robert. It bears mentioning.
Go ahead.
It bears mentioning. You brought up the Elite. You brought up all the VPs. Mm-hmm. That's the click, bro. That is the click. If you're not in with the boys, no one's going to say it. So I'll say it. If you're not in with the fucking VPs, you might as well fucking forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
I don't know. It depends on how much money you make.
Well, I mean,
if you're making money or not.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Like, when's the last time you paid any attention to Sunny Kiss? It has nothing to do with their personal life or anything like that.
No, I've never. I could be honest. I've never paid attention to Sunny Kiss, mainly because they're never on TV.
Well, why is that though? You have to look at ratings, right? If you're not over, you're not over. You know what I mean? And it sounds like it's such a mean thing to say. I think Nyla Rose is boring. I don't think Nyla Rose is going to win the TBS Ho title. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not going to happen. Britt Baker, in my opinion, is losing her luster. She's not out there running her mouth like she was and getting the crowd over. Well, they're getting her involved in some infighting with Jamie Hayter, and who gives a shit about that?
Because she's slowly turning face.
Okay, so you need to put the belt on Thunder Rosa.
Nah, they won't do that yet.
Thunder Rosa is the obvious choice.
Not Ruby Soho?
No. Just because you work for WWE and you came over doesn't mean you should automatically get a belt.
Yeah.
And I love Ruby Soho.
We just got that too. Like, we got them together. I mean, it was a good match, but you can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm going to come back and then I'm going to win." But
yeah, man. I mean, she's. I feel like if you're coming over from WWE into AEW, for all things being said, your WWE record should be kind of scrubbed at that point, right? I mean, who gives a shit? Outside of, like, there's exceptions to every rule. Adam Cole would be the one.
Yeah.
Because you're a fan.
Adam Cole. Okay, dude, you're not. You're not.
I enjoy his work. I'm not a super fan, but I enjoy his work.
Can you not admit that the impact Adam Cole had coming in was not directly connected to him being the fucking heart and soul of NXT?
I think the pop that Adam Cole got was great. I think he gets a lot of good pops when he comes out to the ring. That doesn't, as you put it, that doesn't register as an immediate title.
And I'm not saying put a title on him. I'm saying, like, the Adam Cole transcends a title. Adam Cole doesn't need a title.
He doesn't need a title.
People who marked out when he appeared on NXT were me and Aaron.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Hey, so I'm saying you call a spade a spade. I mean, I'm backing what I'm saying. You don't just slap a belt on somebody because it came over from WWE. I'm saying Adam Cole is the exception to the rule.
Yes.
And to a degree, Bryan Danielson also. Danielson don't need a fucking belt.
Nope.
Right.
He just needs to be in the ring,
He needs to be
impressing
there,
people
yeah.
with how badass he is.
Mhm.
That dude can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adam Cole tells a story on his face every time a kick out happens that he doesn't win. Are you kidding me? That guy's eyes tell a story. Like, dude, for my money, there's no better storyteller when it comes to like the fucking the 2.5 kick out.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like Ruby Soho did it the other day with Statlander, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
her eyes were falling out of her head.
Yeah.
Looked ridiculous, and I was not sold. Looked ridiculous, and I was not sold. But when you have a kick out like that, and Adam Cole has that fucking blown away look on his face because he's so arrogant, because he truly believes, his character truly believes that that sunrise, whatever the fuck it is he does, it's so cool looking. It's basically a Canadian destroyer with a hop, skip, and a jump.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take him out, but his character believes it.
Yeah.
I don't think Ruby Soho's character believes that she should have knocked her out with whatever the fuck move that was.
I think she did. I think she did.
At that point, then, agree to disagree. But that's the beauty of it. Like, so I'm not saying you're wrong. There are people, unfortunately, that get lost in the shuffle.
They do.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it from Tony Khan's perspective, who knows how much money AEW is hemorrhaging, right? We can't assume they're making any profits, but then again, Khan's got more money than sense. So
from what I read was that they were making money until they started investing in the games, all the video games that they're putting out, or they're going to put out. That's where all the money went that they were profiting off of. So until the game comes out, they are not making money.
Okay, well, then do the one game, give us all the DLCs, and don't fuck with video games anymore. Right? Because from all intents and purposes, this is going to be a next-gen No Mercy, right? From what we're being told.
Pretty much, yeah.
It shouldn't be that difficult to do like a DLC pack every time somebody comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Just slap a fucking new paint on the wireframe and put a song on it, and there you go.
Yeah, we don't need a 2K every year for AEW.
No,
you don't at
all.
Yeah.
2K proved that.
Yeah,
It's unnecessary. There's no need for a Madden, 47. Who gives a shit?
No, just have a basic game and just have DLC every 3 to 4 months.
Exactly.
Have it be seasonal.
Yeah. So
your character's new arenas.
I guess I say all that to say that I really feel like Gargano, and time will prove me right or wrong, but I think Gargano and even Ciampa, I don't know when his contract's up. Nobody's talking about that, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a long-term contract either. Especially with what's going on. He refused to go to the main roster. He told Vince to fuck himself.
Yeah.
So, you mean to tell me Vince is going to fucking get revenge on him? Please. Vince is such a cocksucker. He's gonna stick it to Ciampa the first chance he gets.
Well, thank you for listening to Front Row Wrestling.
Yeah, sorry.
See. Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of agree. I like Chris's take on the whole, like how you would bring them in, and even like Gargano, like you don't have to bring him in immediately. If he wants to go do some indie stuff. And what I was going to say is, you mentioned Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Well, he actually appeared this past weekend on NWA. They're in their last pay-per-view.
He did.
Which I didn't see. But the last NWA pay-per-view was actually really good. The one where Flair came on, and Dick Murdoch, what was his name? Lance Murdoch won the title.
Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah. That was actually a really good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then like the one they did the night before, like the all-women pay-per-view, that was actually booked by women. So it was like, Mickey James, Medusa, they all like had a hand in the creative of the whole thing. So I mean, Gargano could go, like, I don't know how much money Billy Corgan has to dole out, but like, if Gargano goes there for a little bit, kind of gets some of the talent going, and maybe at a certain point he goes to AEW, and and I think like the Joey Janela's, like all those first wave guys, like I don't like Chris Sabin. I mean, is he there, or Kip Sabian? Like, is he there just because Penelope Ford They want to
Kip?
keep him there for her.
They started building Kip up with a new gimmick, and they never
Yeah.
really did anything with it.
And
They
yeah, because they put him with Miro, and I feel like nobody liked that, so they
Yeah.
had to like get
It
that.
wasn't great.
well, I don't think
Yeah,
they
so
liked. I don't think they liked the tagging. I think they just didn't like the whole best man gimmick.
The best
They-
man. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like best
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, like I can see them maybe moving away from that, and then it was like, okay, we've got these guys that they couldn't, like they've main evented
Mhm.
pay-per-views, so like we can get them to headline our shows. Like if we put them on Rampage, if we put Gargano against against Gargano and MJF on Rampage, that would be
Yeah.
like people would tune
Oh,
in.
man.
That'd be a big ratings thing.
Yeah, that'd be
Or,
great.
or like Gargano versus, Ricky Starks when he heals up, or like, and then like Kyle O'Reilly, like, Red Dragon versus the Acclaimed. I mean,
Kyle
Oh
that's,
man, yeah, dude. There's
Or if Ciampa comes in, FTR and DIY renew the feud.
yeah,
you know.
dude. There's,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of variables, stuff that you could do. It's it's like the multiverse. I mean, you've got possibilities, things you could do, and what ifs, and
Yeah.
I think it all basically proves that WWE is not the end all be all anymore, and that's
no,
strange.
not.
at all.
Like by
It's definitely
all,
not.
like by all accounts, all these guys should be on the, like we figured 2-3 years ago, these guys would be all on the main roster just kicking ass. Like
Yeah,
Undisputed
you would have
Era
thought,
would just-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would just be like ruling SmackDown, but it's didn't work that way.
Nope. Then you run into Mount Vince. You know what I mean? And Mount
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
is like, I'm not moving. It's like, okay, well
Well,
there we
it's
go.
like-
All that fucking
well-
work wasted.
Well, and then like Keith Lee, he's been posting on his Instagram. That's another guy. Like, where's he gonna show up? Like he posts on his Instagram, hey, remember when me and Roman had that moment where he fist bumped me and we were like, okay, I'll see you again someday. No. Or
Nope.
when it was him and Brock at the Rumble, and
Yeah.
that little moment, we thought, oh, is this gonna mean something someday? No. So
Nope. So yeah.
it's just-
It's. I mean,
And-
we can fantasy book all we want, and it just comes down to
yeah. Or
what
like
I guess what's best for the talent.
Yeah, or like
What's
Cross
best for
and
the talent.
Scarlet. Like where would they
Yeah.
wind up? Like I could see them in like an Impact, maybe not necessarily
Go back to
AEW.
Impact.
Yeah, Impact, or
Go back to Impact.
Or again, like I said, if NWA can get some money and build themselves up into, a legitimate, like, we're a company, like we're
Yeah.
not just the YouTube show anymore. Like we're, maybe they don't have a network, but they've got something that people want to seek out and watch.
Yeah.
So
Well, they kind of finish this segment off, or finish this part off. I would love to see DIY go to MLW to fight the Von Erichs,
oh,
to
yeah.
fight their crew. I think that would be a good show.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens versus the Samoan guy that's over there. Forget his name.
Jacob
Oh.
Fatu?
Yeah, Jacob
Yeah.
Fatu.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good go around.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens just running through Eric Young and his crew. I think
Yeah.
we have other options outside of AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
And-
think it's entirely possible.
And
Yeah.
we could have that happen. I just don't want AEW to be pretty much the only place to go now.
Yeah.
That
Agreed.
there
Agreed.
are other options for other talent to go to, because I just don't want to see AEW get cluttered.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's happened
true.
before. It's happened before with wrestling organizations where it gets cluttered and your favorites get either tossed to the side,
Yeah.
or it's what's happening with WWE. They release a lot of people, and
Yeah.
we already saw that happen with Big Swole. She's gone. She had a good feud with Britt Baker, and now she's gone. So
Yeah.
that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. But it happens.
When you're bred and trained to the WWE way of doing things, I think you're seeing a lot of these guys that are breaking away. Into
Yeah.
Robert's point, Zack Ryder or Matt
Yeah.
Cardona is a perfect example. Like, I know that he grates on some people, and people don't love the guy because he's kind of a prick sometimes, I guess.
Oh.
But at the
Who
end
would
of the
say
day,
something like that?
who would ever say that Matt Cardona is a dickhead?
Yeah, who
But-
would say that?
I have to give him props for going out and earning some cred, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that was a guy who was trained the WWE way.
Yeah.
And when WWE kicked his ass to the curb, instead of whining about it, he went and decided to go and get his fucking ass beat by
made a name
Nick
for
Gage.
himself, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to respect that. How can you not? You know what I mean? I really feel like guys like Gargano or Steen or Lee, all these people that are getting released, I see them when they're good and ready, doing exactly what you said, Aaron, going out and hitting the indie scene and getting that experience they never had. I mean,
all that stuff.
I'm sure they have some of it, but then you lose it after a while when you're at WWE's robot for a while. You lose that shit, but then now you want it back because you're seeing everybody else that you come in this industry with that are having a great time, falling in love with wrestling again, and here you are stuck in the machine, just waiting for the call.
Yeah. That's true. And I'll end this part with my fantasy booking match.
Go on.
Keith Lee versus Moose.
Ooh. Okay.
To quote Big E, that's a lot of meat slapping together in the ring there, sir.
Or Moose versus Killer Cross. Go back to Killer Cross.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I'm on board for that.
I'm on the Moose train right now. I'm on the Moose train. He's got my attention.
He's a fucking imposing figure, man.
He is. So, leaving the wrestling behind, now that we've gone like 35 minutes in wrestling.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
I do have to mention some things that have happened this past weekend. I attended NerdCon. Our past guest, James, had his second convention that he put together, NerdCon. Nerdfest? I was at that. I don't even know the name.
I think it was NerdCon, yeah.
NerdCon, sponsored by Nerdfest, which he owns both.
Man.
I was there. I was supposed to do 2 panels. Ended up doing 1 panel. And the other panel, I guess, didn't happen. When I went to the room, it was empty. Don't know. But the panel I did, it was Star Wars versus Star Trek, and it was a debate.
Oh wow!
And,
man, you went right to the part, didn't you, pal?
And because James asked me to be a part of it, I'm like, well, I know Star Wars. I don't know enough about Star Trek, but I'm not a super fan. And he's like, no. I just want you to crack jokes. I'm like, I can do that. That's fine.
He wanted you to stir the pot.
I was like, that's perfectly fine.
He wanted you to MJF that bitch.
Pretty much. So I was on Team Star Wars.
Of course.
This time. And they had a guy who's part of that city area's public works help moderate it. He was doing the moderating with questions. And we had questions like, which universe, like, does the Empire or does the Star Wars universe or does the Star Trek universe have better vehicles or better ships? And I heard our Star Wars guy that's on our team, because it was basically 3-on-3. But our Star Wars guy, who was dressed up like a Jedi, like a dark Sith Jedi, started agreeing with the Star Trek people.
Oh no!
So
confusion.
To kind of start my character off, I immediately called him a traitor. I said, you should be wearing a red shirt.
Traitor to the Federation.
Go sit on the other side of the table. Go sit over there.
Sir.
Oh my God.
And I made the question. I questioned the audience. I'm like, hey, what would you rather fly? An X-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, or a TIE Fighter? Or would you rather pilot one of those goofy-looking pizza cutter-shaped spaceships out there? They have to ask the computer to pilot for you.
Boy. Yeah.
Oh, and
that got laughs.
Oh,
and I ended that question with, you know what? I would rather have R2 or Chopper as my co-pilot than Data, a guy who came and update to his iOS.
Yeah.
Oh man. How many Star Trek people were in there? It doesn't sound like there were any Star Trek people in there.
There's quite a bit. Well, one guy on the team Star Trek was wearing like the captain's, suit, like the the Captain Picard suit. His face matched his suit. It was red.
Oh my God, I'm sure he was pissed.
It was red. And so we had other questions like, which franchise has the better crime family? Like, do you trust the Hutts versus the Ferengis? I think it was called the Ferengis versus the Hutts. Who do you trust more, or who's a better dealing? And I went into this whole debate about how the Hutts are philanthropists because they brought back the Rancors from extinction.
Oh
They
man.
planted Sarlacc pits everywhere across the galaxy. They branch off and do other things. And in fact, you don't hear about Ferengi burgers or Ferengi tacos, but you do hear about Pizza Huts across everywhere.
Oh my
So
god. Trolling hard.
I was trolling. I will admit I was trolling hard this entire time.
Oh god.
And I was cutting some of my own teammates down too. It doesn't
That's
matter.
awesome. I wanted to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, everybody was laughing. Everybody was laughing. I wish somebody would have recorded that.
Damn,
just
dude.
to have it as like an end cap for this episode. But it was fun. It was out there pretty much toward the LaPorte areas, kind of close to your area, Chris.
Oh, okay.
It was a free event, just like James said, it's a free event. Pretty much it was mostly dealer room was the main attraction, along with along with the Dragon Ball Z voice actors. And they did some things like a scavenger duck hunt, because Parker was all about them ducks.
Oh yeah, he is.
For the event. And you have like little panels, and you have like little activities for kids. And for it being at Second Con, it was a lot of fun. But they do need to have more attractions for the kids, because a lot of them were getting bored there.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you can only do so much to keep a kid's attention span that doesn't involve looking at things for hours. So,
right, I'm sure the kids like having fun, but they don't appreciate a DeLorean car. And they're like, oh wow, look, a car. What else,
Pretty much, but it was fun. The kids enjoyed it for the most part, but by 3:00, the kids were like, I'm bored. Let's go. So, but we did hit a Buc-ee's on the way home. I mean, not on the way home, but we had a Buc-ee's on the way up there. That made the day even better.
Oh hell yeah! Which one? The one in Baytown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One in Baytown. I got my Buc-ee's Uggies sweater for Christmas. I got my Buc-ee's Christmas shirt.
Nice.
I am a happy Buc-ee's fan.
Nice.
So I have to throw that out there. Nerdfest was fun, or NerdCon was fun. Brought to you by Nerdfest. It's confusing, but
if I didn't have a store that I was trying to sell my wares at during the holiday season, I would have totally went. But I was like, I pay rent here. I gotta, you know what I mean?
Completely understandable.
Yeah.
Saw a few friendly faces up there, familiar faces. But it was overall fun. So
awesome.
If you're on Facebook, look up Nerdfest, join the group. They'll post the next event, and come out and be a part of it. Our debate tied 3-3. So we've got to finish it next year. We got to finish it, and I got to put the nail in the coffin next year. So
man, the tiebreaker should have been somebody dressed as Darth Maul facing off against somebody dressed as Kirk. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's like a girdle versus a Sith Lord.
Oh.
So,
well, I mean, like Kirk, circa the first episode where he fights the Gorn, right? Where he's like his shirt's ripped and he's got to throw, styrofoam boulders and shit.
Yeah.
If you look close enough, you can see the stunt man with the Shatner wig on. So
there you go.
But it was fun. So yeah, definitely follow
awesome.
Nerdfest on Facebook. Check them out and stay updated with what they're going to do.
Nice.
And with that kind of being said, we kind of round this out to finish this episode. So, Robert, if you have anything that you want to plug away, your job, where they can find you, any of that stuff, go ahead.
Man, Cactus Music, if you want to buy cool stuff, we've got, we're still getting Funko Pops. We got Super 7 figures, so like the music related ones. So if you're looking for any of that stuff, we got it. So,
okay.
Like Selena Pops?
We got plenty of Selena Pops, yeah.
There you go.
I think we got I just saw we got in like the 5-pack of like the Pearl Jam Pops, so.
With the record?
Wait,
which one? The regular one or the zombie one?
I don't.
Oh, that's right. There's a zombie one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. I need to check, but yeah. But yeah, no. If you want cool GIF ideas, or if you want to just come say hey, that's where I'm at 5 days a week. So.
Well, nice. Do you also buy records? Do you also buy records too?
We do. We buy records. We buy used records, CDs, cassette tapes. If you got cassette tapes, we buy those. And
oh man,
I think we still have the Guardians of the Galaxy cassettes. I think.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I think we did.
That's awesome.
We finally got the Halloween Kills soundtrack on vinyl.
Nice.
I think we got. Yeah, so yeah, we're restocking like daily. So, anything you're looking
That's
for,
awesome.
hit us up.
That
Check
is
us
awesome.
out. All the social medias.
Cactus Music.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
look for it.
Yep.
All right, Chris.
Yes,
Promote your
sir.
stuff. Plug your stuff.
I will
stuff.
plug it in. I definitely want to remind all of you guys that if you are out, I'm assuming this will drop right. Like this time next week, right? No.
This will hopefully this week by the end of
This
this
weekend?
week. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, if you're in the Houston area, guys, Collectomania, we're on Instagram and Facebook. We are literally a one-stop shop for nerd things. Let's be honest, it's no longer a badge of shame as it is a badge of pride.
Mm-hmm.
We have Funko Pops, for God's sakes. If you have a store, you don't have Funko Pops. Do you have anything at all? Yeah, so we definitely have those. And just, the thing is, man, like if you go to the mall, you're gonna be bumping into people left and right, and everybody's really worried about COVID, and that's understandable. Antique Mall is a cool little hideaway spot, man. It's a hole in the wall. It's got that old school feel. You're gonna find stuff that you're not gonna find at Target and Walmart, man, because literally you can't go buy a freaking a Crash Test Dummies action figure from 1996, but you sure as shit have a better chance of getting it for your cousin Al, who was a big fan of the cartoon. You can get stuff like that at the Antique Mall. So Collectomania at the Marketplace Antique Mall. Again, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And what about your arts? Because I know you're selling arts.
Well, yeah, always selling arts, man. You can search me. I'm very Googleable. That's how famous I am. You can find me on the Google. You can find me on Tinder. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm definitely not on Tinder. That was my half-assed attempt at being funny. No, definitely Chris Foreman Art on Instagram, Facebook. Very much just me constantly working on sets and taking commissions and then getting caught up on commissions and taking more commissions as an artist who is successful would do. So,
Okay, that's awesome.
All right.
For my final plug, we're on YouTube, iTunes, Podbean, all that place. I did cameo. I did a guest spot on a episode of Colt 45 recently for the King of Kickboxers episode movie.
I need to go watch that.
Oh no, you don't.
No,
No, you don't. No, you don't. I saved it for you. It's Billy Blanks with a bad weave. And you remember the old MC Hammer cartoon that came on ABC 13, like back in the 90s?
Oh wow, yeah.
Hammerman. You got Billy Blanks dressed as Hammerman fighting somebody in a cage in the jungle, and it is not good.
Man. I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Hey, action movies did to him what Eminem did to Machine Gun Kelly. He changed genres. He went from movies to workout videos.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay. Noted.
So go check out Colt 45 and their latest episode, The King of Kickboxers. I am on there, and I am apologizing ahead of time if you listen to it and don't like it. But it was a fun talk. It was a fun episode, and it was a bad movie. It was a very bad movie. I should have watched Knockoff. I should have watched Knockoff with John
or just
Van
bad?
Bad.
Okay, so yeah.
Good is bad.
I would have rather watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie instead, or even a Steven Seagal movie instead.
Oh,
damn! Ringing endorsement.
That's not good. So go check them out. We got T-shirts up, some new ones that I put up recently. We got our Glitch logo shirt, which has been doing pretty well, so that's good. And mostly, I guess the number one selling shirt so far is that Figment Club shirt for Disney. All you Disney fanatics, that one's it's fluctuating. It's fluctuating. That one's hitting first place along with for some reason recently the Terry Bogard shirt has been selling a lot as well. So it's either Figment the Dragon or Terry Bogard the Mark of the Wolves. So it's like back and forth. And I'm not
at the end of the day, you'll take it. Yeah,
I will take those sales. So go check out our shirts. Buy a Front Row Negative shirt. Support indie podcasting because we are not paid by anybody except you when you buy a shirt. So until next time.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Search my name on eBay and keep an eye on this stuff. You'll get stuff from me there too.
Search Chris's name on eBay and you will find his cool cards.
Yes.
You'll see his cool cards if they're still around. If the auction is still going,
exactly.
You'll see his cool cards and bid on one because they're pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely.
They're very nice.
Very nice. Very evil.
So until next time, I am Aaron.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Robert. We'll be back eventually again. he'll be back a third time.
Third time. So, yes. Soon to be Robert 3-time. Yeah.
Robert 3-time. I'm sure you'll catch up with Clay when he hears this. Yeah. And he will not be too happy because then he'll be like, I want to be on now. I'll put those fires out when I get to them.
Of course.
So, thank you for listening. Give yourself a pat on the back. And until next time, always unfollow, never unfriend. And fuck ponchos.
This episode is sponsored by the Farm Drinkery, best dive bar in the corner of a strip center on Champions Forest Drive in the Weta in Spring, Texas. 22 local beers on tap and world-famous wings. Come for the great atmosphere, stay for the free high fives. Use the code BEERNERD20 to get 20% off your bill.
This has been a Cross the Streams Media Podcast.